boys and girls of the world, it's your boy Fanboy Next Door, the most gorgeous boy in the world found right next door, and that is on period. If you're watching this video, please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe so you can be a part of the fine gang, and also follow me on all my social media platforms. That is at fineboynextdoor_ on Instagram and TikTok, and at original fanboy on Twitter. Without wasting any time, let's get straight into the video. Right guys, welcome to a new segment on the channel which is called Becoming, where we are going to be talking about all things becoming dash, right? So it's going to be an 8-part series where on each episode we're going to be tackling like a different topic so that we can end up becoming whatever that thing is. So in today's episode we're going to be talking about becoming the love of your life. Very interesting. So what inspired this topic was like actually what happened to me like today. So I already had like this series in my head, you know, that I wanted to do this like segment on the channel, but then the intention was not to film this video. Actually this video wasn't even on my like 8 ideas of like the videos that I was supposed to film, or like the videos that was supposed to make the cut for this segment. But then, you know, something happened. So I set up the space, you know, I sat down to film, I got ready and everything. My phone is charged, you know, ring lights, the works, everything is, you know. And then like I sit on the couch, and then I'm like, hey fun boys and girls of the world, it's your boy Fanboy Next Door, the most gorgeous boy in the world found right next door. And then I pause, and something in my head was like, fine boy, did you just hear what you just said? You literally just said, the most gorgeous boy in the world found right next door. And I was like, okay, like, did you really actually hear what you just said? Like, I'm not saying that what you just said is wrong or like it's not true, but then are you believing what you just said? And that is what was like in my head the whole time. And like having such a question come to me in a time where like I thought I really did believe what I was saying was very like nerve-wracking, because it's like I thought I was in a place where like I'm in love with myself, everything is perfect, I'm fine boy, I know what I'm about, you know. But then today's situation, like what just happened, was like, okay, actually there's like something that like we're really not focusing on, and that is something that we really need to work on, which is the fact that I had lost the plot. Like I had lost my touch when it came to me being the love of my own life. And I was like, okay, you know. So it made me like think a lot. I even like called like my friends, and I was like, dude, like I just had this super weird moment where like I was thinking about what I say, you know. And in my past videos, when I would say, hey guys, you know, Fanboy Next Door, most gorgeous boy in the world found right next door, I was believing it, you know, I felt it, you know, it was coming from within, it was a real thing. But then when I said it today, I felt convicted, and I was like, okay, like where's this feeling coming from? So like I called my friend and I was like, okay dude, like I'm panicking, like what should I do? And you know, we talked about it, and we got like, he made me understand that like there was actually something that like was there, you know. He helped me realize that like I had lost that thing. Like I stopped prioritizing myself, I stopped making it a point that I am the love of my own life. So that is what we're going to be talking about in today's video. And yeah, okay, so like that whole situation really had me thinking a lot about where I am in my life, you know, and what I want to do about the whole situation, because I do want to get to a place where like I'm back to being the love of my own life, you know. And it's not my first time doing this, because it's not my first time it's not the first time I'm finding myself in such a situation where like things in my life happened and I stopped putting myself first, and I lost, you know, like I sort of lost my touch when it came to being the love of my own life, because I was so focused on like all of the other things in my life that are happening and all of the other people in my life, and not actually like pouring into my own cup. So I was really thinking a lot about that. And then the one question like that was in my head was, where is this coming from? Because we were in a place where I was the love of my own life, and I was doing everything, you know, the way I wanted it to be done. I was feeling the way that I wanted to be feeling, you know, like life was good, you know, life was okay, life was perfect. But then today I sit down to film a video and I say these words, but I'm not believing them. Why? Like, why am I not believing like all of those things? And then I got to also, like, me saying that made me also reflect on like some of the things that have been happening like over the past week, like how I let some people talk to me, you know, and how I entertained people that I would normally not entertain, and you know, and how I found myself in situations that the most healed, the most safest, the most secure, the most self-actualized version of myself would not entertain. Like, I found myself in spaces that I know I don't belong. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, basically, a lot of the things that were happening around me and a lot of the things I was engaging in were out of character. Not out of character to the point where like I'm partying and drinking every day and like doing things that are like screaming, I'm dying, I need help, I don't know where I am in life. But there were subtle things that I was doing, and I was finding myself in certain spaces, talking to certain people, doing certain things that I wouldn't normally do if I'm happy with myself, I'm happy with where my life is, you know, and like things are going well, and like I'm secure within myself, I'm reaching my goals, you know, all of those things. If things are happening that way, I wouldn't normally do the things that I've been doing, or like find myself in the spaces that I've been finding myself in, or let people say things to me or do things to me in the way that they've been doing them to me over the past few days or past few weeks. So it really like did make me think a lot about like what I want in my life, and I was just like, okay, we've definitely like lost ourselves somewhere, and now it's time to what? To work on being the love of our own lives again. So I was just like, okay, this is the video we're shooting today, and let's go back to the things that actually helped us get to a place where we were loving ourselves again, like we were making ourselves the most important person in our own life. So the tips that I'm about to give you guys are the tips that actually helped me reach that point before like I lost it again. And I also added something. One of the tips is something that is actually going to help both you and I to keep this thing and not lose ourselves again, you know, because again, we can't keep on losing ourselves each time only to like relearn the same thing over and over again, just so we can make ourselves the most important person in our lives again. Like after watching this video, we must both be able to move forward without ever losing ourselves again. So the first note that I wrote down here was, take time to learn about yourself and what you want, what you like and what you don't like. Invest a lot of time into actually doing all of those things that you like doing, and spend less time or no time at all doing the things that you don't like. So I think with this one, I've sort of like been doing all of the things that I've been wanting to do. I'm in cheer, I'm on YouTube, I'm putting myself out there on my social media. I'm literally like being more sociable. I participate in class, literally do all of these things that I've been wanting to do. And I don't do a lot of the things that I don't like doing. So it's like, in this aspect, I think I'm like sort of like in a good place. But then what I would generally like suggest to anyone who doesn't do the things that they want to do, or like who hasn't done the things that they want to do, is just take time to like sit down and actually ask yourself, what do I like? What am I interested in? What do I want to do with my life? You know, what fuels me? What makes me feel like I'm contributing something positive into the world? What makes me wake up and makes me feel proud of myself? You know, things like that. Because when I get up in the morning, I don't feel shitty about myself. I don't feel like I'm not doing enough. I wake up with satisfaction and I sleep with satisfaction, because each and every day I actually put myself out there and I go out of my way to get the things that I actually want to get. So that is one thing that is going to help you like become the love of your own life again. So the second thing that I wrote down was affirm yourself and treat yourself how you would like others to treat you. And this is the one area that I can say I've definitely like let down. You know, I haven't been affirming myself the way that I used to affirm myself over the past like few weeks, and that's scary, because what do you mean? Like I stopped doing that, because that is where like your confidence it comes from, like getting up and being like looking in the mirror and being like, actually fine boy is fine boying today. You know, I would have like moments of like feeling hot or cute or like gorgeous or like, you know, feeling good about myself. But then the other thing is, those moments would be moments. They wouldn't be like a constant feeling that I'm feeling a lot of the time, you know. So I'd beat myself up, feeling like sometimes on some, okay, I don't like this about myself. What can I do to change it? Which is really not healthy. So now I'm taking the time out to be like, ayo, you are looking fine. You are looking like a snack. You are looking beautiful, you know. You look handsome, you look pretty, you look gorgeous. All of those nice things that you would like say to yourself. You're smart, you're dedicated, you're driven, you're tenacious. Tenacity. Those are my words, you know. Those words represent the person that I am. So I found that like saying such things to yourself like over and over again is actually what like helps you set the bar for yourself in your own head. It helps you know in your own head the kind of person that you are. So that is something that like you should really do. And also treat yourself how you would like others to treat you. I know this is like very cliche, and we've seen this like on social media all the time. Take yourself out on solo dates, buy yourself flowers, oh my gosh, and it's so boring. However, that is so true. So take time out to treat yourself the way that you would be treated. And I found that like a lot of the times when we talk about take yourself out, do all of these things, you don't really do them to teach yourself the type of treatment you deserve, but you do it to teach others how to treat you, which is really not, like, that shouldn't be the intent, you know, because it ends up not serving you. Like, you're doing it, yes, but then are you doing it so you can feel it and you can believe that this is the bar, this is the standard, this is what we're only going to be accepting from everyone? Or is it that you're doing it just so you can say to other people that you're doing it, so that they can treat you how you would think you want to be treated? Think about what I just said. Think about what I just said. Let that sink in. Because a lot of the time when we do all of these self-care things, it's not really about us, but it's more about proving to other people what we like and things like that, when it really shouldn't be like that. It should be do it for you, so that when other people come to you and they give you something, you can decide for yourself, or actually, I'm not going to take this because I give myself this, or I'm going to take this because this is what I deserve. You get what I'm saying? So that is my second point. My third point is make promises to yourself. So this is the one tip that I mentioned that is going to help you keep to being the most important person in your life, to being the love of your own life. When you make promises to yourself, that thing will change like how you move, you know. Because I recently, like, even with the channel, I was like to myself, I'm gonna make videos for an entire year where I'm gonna like keep on like producing content, trying to learn where, like, as I go and do all of these things, just so I can see where I can be. And I'm keeping to that promise. And me keeping to that promise helps me to like believe in myself, because I'm actually putting in the work. So like the work that I've done over the past few months, with all of the videos that I've produced and all of the work that I've put into this channel, is what affirms me and says, okay, Dukoro, you're one person who is dedicated. And where is the evidence of the dedication? We can see the evidence of the dedication with all of the things that you've done in the past. So giving yourself a promise and sticking to the promise helps you to stick to doing the things that you're supposed to be doing, which helps you become the love of your own life, because you're gonna like love yourself more when you do the things that serve you and the things that make you happy and the things that fulfill you, so that you don't have to seek for that fulfillment or happiness or level of contentment in other people or other things, but then it should come from within. Do you get what I'm saying? So that is tip number 3. And then my 4th tip is set boundaries. And this is something that I've also been struggling with, like all the way from last year. Like, setting boundaries has been so hard for me, and I think I've had a difficult time with setting boundaries because of my, what do I call this? I don't want to say it's an addiction, but like my desire for being liked, you know. And it's such a toxic thing, because I've struggled with people pleasing. In fact, I've had instances where like people would do certain things to me and I wouldn't like those things, but then I wouldn't say, hey, I don't like this, stop doing this to me, because I don't like it. Why? Because I was afraid that if I did vocalize that I don't like it when people do certain things, they would stop liking me or stop giving me the attention and the affection and like all of these things that I was getting from them. I was afraid that I would stop receiving those things because I just said, I don't like it when you do this because it doesn't make me feel good, you know. The next tip is put yourself in spaces that align with the most healed, most safe, and most self-actualized version of yourself. And what I mean by this is just put yourself in spaces that the love of your life would be in. So like where you'd like to see the person that you're romantically involved in a relationship with, which is the love of your life. Like the good spaces that you would like to see them be in, wherever, in their workplace, in their friendships, in their hobbies, wherever. Put that energy into you. You know what I'm saying? So find yourself friends that are going to make you feel warm and loved and safe and energized and motivated, you know. They must like never take away from your energy, you know. Don't be around people that are gonna bring you down. You know what I'm saying? Always find yourself in spaces that are going to make you feel like a main character, even though we're in a world full of other people. But like when you're with your friends, they must make you feel like you're the most important person in the world. while at the same time also making the others feel like they're the most like important person in the world. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but then that is how I feel whenever I'm with my friends. Like, I feel special, you know, and I hope I make them feel special as well, you know, because whenever I'm with them, like, life feels good, you know, like, and I don't feel anxious or stressed or afraid to say something, you know. Whenever I'm with them, like, everything is easygoing, and I feel warm inside, and I feel loved, and I feel smart, and I feel funny. I feel like I'm funny, you know. A lot of my friends would agree that I'm funny, but like, not like, they make me feel good, you know. And it's not just in my friends, but then like in a lot of the spaces that I find myself in, I find myself in them intentionally, just so that I can fall more in love with the person that I am. Because I remember reading a quote somewhere, I don't remember the quote like verbatim, but it said something like, be around people that are going to make you fall even deeper in love with yourself. And I thought that was so powerful, because again, who is the most important person in your life? Who do you go to sleep with every night? Who are you gonna die with? Who were you born with? Who is with you 24/7? Exactly, that person is you. So why are you making someone else the love of your life when they don't do all of the things that I just mentioned? They were not born with you. They're not gonna die with you. They don't spend all the time with you. They don't sleep with you. Well, they sleep with you, but like, you know what I mean? What I mean is, they do not sleep with you. Like, they're not with you like all the time. When you go to sleep, they're not necessarily gonna go to sleep as well, because you're going to sleep, you know? So the person you spend the most time with on this earth, and you'll ever spend the most time with on this earth, is yourself. So you are supposed to be making yourself your #1 priority, so that you can also make other people feel loved, you know, and seen and appreciated, and like all of those good things. So for you to be the love of your life, put yourself in spaces that are gonna make you feel good, so that you can pour into yourself, and you're gonna be able to like take whatever is in you, so you can share it with other people. I think that is like the most beautiful thing you can do for yourself. So put yourself in spaces that are going to make you feel like your most loved, most healed, and most self-actualized version of yourself. My last tip is, allow yourself to make mistakes along the way, and remember to remove anyone who wants to stand in the way of you falling in love with yourself, and actually thinking that you're the best thing to happen to yourself, you know? So if you fall off and you find yourself, like, even after these tips, like, and you take longer to getting to a point where you're the love of your own life, or you get to a point where you are the love of your own life, but then you lose that along the way, don't beat yourself up over it, you know? Just work on getting back there, you know? Work on like falling in love with yourself again, you know? Work on being obsessed with yourself again, you know? Work on making sure that you're the most important person in your life. Because I promise you, the moment you do that, your life is going to be amazing. So don't beat yourself up if you fall off, or like something goes wrong. And even in the things that you do when you're not your most healed, loved, secure, self-actualized version of yourself, don't beat yourself up over those things. So what is most probably going to happen when you don't put yourself as a priority in your own life, probably going to do a lot of things that you're going to regret, but then don't beat yourself up over all of those things that you did, because that was the capacity you had at the time, you know? we always act because, like, we always act out of what we have within us. So if you have a little within you, you're gonna make decisions of a person that has a little within them. So that is what you had at the time. So don't like beat yourself up over making bad decisions because, you know, you are not loving yourself the way that you deserve to be loved. So don't beat yourself up over that. And also anyone who tries to make you feel like you don't deserve to be the person of your own dreams, like you don't deserve to feel like the love of your own life, you don't deserve to feel content with the person that you are all the time, or like you're that nigga or that B word, then remove that person. You know, you should never feel like you're doing too much or you're doing too little whenever you have people, because the other thing is these people are in whose life? In your life. And who's the main character? You. So you decide to add and remove people from your life. So if people are taking from you and not pouring into you and making you feel like you're less than, or like you don't deserve to be loved the way you want to be loved, just remove them. And guys, that wraps up the end of the video. That makes it, you know, we just reached the end of the video. So if you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend. And also follow me on all my social media platforms. That's at Original Fanboy on Twitter and at fineboynextdoor_ on Instagram and TikTok. I love you so much, guys, and I'll see you in the next episode of Becoming.